This is day 317 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you like to sponsor upcoming shir or more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Be very greatly appreciated. Today we are doing Siman Reish Chav Gimel, Seif Beis, through Reish Chav Gimel, Seif Ches. And we're talking about the halachas of your lettuce. Because of Rabbeinu Beis, because of Rabbeinu Rambam, in Mesa Ishto B'lei Dasa, if his wife Rachmana died while she was giving birth, Mevarach Shechianu, you make a Shechianu. The Leka Hatova Lachrini, because then there's no Im for a son, there's no Hatova for others. Mishabura says that you have to first make a Dayan Ha'emes on the mother's Petira, and then a Shechianu on the child. Mishabura says it seems that from language that if she dies during birth, that if she dies several hours after birth, you make a Tova Meitiv, because she would have been pleased before her death. Bialach rejected that and remains with the Tzarech Iyun. Continuing on, when the father dies before the child is born, the mother makes Shechianu. Those wrote that we're leaning with this book because it's not obligatory, it's only optional. Bialach says many posting hold that it's mandatory, but he does not make a definitive statement. Back to Arukh HaShulchan, that is the end of the quote from the Ramah. The Shabura says it's not the fact that it's Rishus is not a reason to be Mako. In any event, that it's the same thing Arukh HaShulchan says. A thing which is not mandatory, fine. Well, he says something else actually. He says that which is a bracha which is rishus, we only find the Gemara concerning shechianu on a new fruit, which briskers don't make because they don't know the shir of simcha on a new fruit. But the other ishtos zachar and baruch atov meiti v'baisim refreshes. It is explicit. Baruch shulav kein zem. Okay, Ram asked on the Rambam about this. And he was that in your time nachol mash mekilim bracha zu. The lomat sasi barif Rambam perikut cloud din zeh perikut cloud din zeh. The Rif Rambam don't bring this down. To be honest, it's astonishing that the post do not realize that the Rambam doesn't bring it down. Since Rif Rambam rejected this for halacha, we obviously don't get involved in Safi Bracha. But why did they leave it out? The time Rabbi was saying in the early DNA, Lashon Brisa Kenu. Language of Brisa is Amulo Yoda Ishto Zachar Mavarech Chulei Meis Avi V'Chulei. V'Kasha Lama B'Yoda Zachar Tanya Amulo. Says they said to him, the low Meis Avi, but when his father died, doesn't say they said to him, Elavade the B'Stama Ein Levarech. So it means that usually you don't make the bracha. Bryce my bottom should doeg with toiv leida zachar, but the Bryce type of person who's uniquely anxious and desirous of having a male child. Kachnam Nazir already know Nazir Shieli Ben. Person comes to says he'll be Nazir if he has a male child. In person, people who heard this desire from him, they came and told him, Yo, the Zachar. Klomar, meaning, Bisur Torah, they came Ganusha, Kosh Baruch Hu Milei Tavoscha. Kosh Baruch Hu fulfilled your desire. So the Shechianu is not on the birth, but on the Shmua Toiva. Okay? But it says in the brackets, Asi Shapar Mashik Shosham, V'chol Hechad Leis Lachrini Ba'adei Lom B'varach Atova Meitiv. Then Mogen Avram asks, and which says that whenever there are no others, you don't make a tov meitim. But the Torah doesn't say Yoda v'chuli, Matari Tosim v'chuli v'ishto v'chuli Hanjam. V'enimud koyla Michaela im leYoda said whatever the case is, somehow rejects Mogen Avram. Fimash Kosati Atishap, but based on what I said, it works out well. The Stam Einim Mevarich. Normally, you don't make this bracha. V'rak b'kan tov l'zeh, but only here where he was very desirous of this, and he was waiting anxiously. But we don't see and don't hear anything about her, right? So therefore, Gemara thought, well, maybe that tov is only for him. So why be a tomameti? But it's enoch be stomach shu tov gam he table zachar beduk. So the Gemara says no, but even when he wants a male mistamach, she also wants a male child. Therefore, there is a tov ameti. Gimel. If a person's father dies, he makes that emesh, and all the dead upon whom you mourn, Chaya b'bracha zu avged this bracha because she al avi is certainly on his father. Feel Talmud Chacham on the question chatchila shvech dan emes shemes even on a Talmud Chacham and even on a good person he's made dan emes when he dies. Lo garam b'shul source no different than any other bad news. El shalom agul v'arv shem machus. The custom is only to make shem machus on parents. I by your there simon shin mem. But I etc. On relatives I say. Mila avi b'shita shvar shem machus v'hem serabusa klap. So he says the father for sure make with shem umalchus. And it's not a chiddush. The Rabusa he the minech lo aviv mama b'yusha schum nachon. But the chiddush is that if his father left him Yerusha, which is a nice amount of money, after he makes an emes about shechino, Yerusha the mama he makes shechino on the inheritance. The law meaning echi varach shechino based misas avav. You don't say how can a person make a shechino when his father dies? Dating and zet lozeh. This is not related. Ach emes shechino, but when he makes shechino, shu yoresh echad. That's when there's one heir, and that is him. When there are other heirs, then mevorach hatov ametiv. Hatov l'idei metiv achrin yidei metiv ametiv, good to you, and does good to others. The klalu, because the general principle is she'ein borchim hatov ametiv, and he came agir am acher toiva. You only make the tov ametiv when another person also gets the toiva, but if there is another heir, obviously the other person is getting the tova. Maybe you'll ask, well, by himself, there's something good coming to him and his wife and children. Then okay, ain't okay. That's not true. The haim in both because parnasa comes through him to them. V'lodami liyoda ishto zachar. It's not comparable to his wife giving birth to a male. Shekam he yesh lachelek mamish bavlash because she also has a direct portion in the child. Ava mama kushlo, but the money is completely his. V'laf dafki was just oven mevarech. Not just presumably works the other way around. If the mother is inherits, but I'm not sure. The last night was just unvarach within Ezrushahu, but it seems that it is in fact when Yerusha comes to the mother, also to the wife, she also makes a shechianu herself. The heirs she would make a tova meitiv. Shibura says that if his father dies and even some another adam kosher, you should make the bracha, but the oil minhag is again not to make it b'shem u'malchus, even though it's not correct, and therefore he says Talmid Chacham who dies and on relatives as well, they're chayav to be misabel them. You should certainly say the bracha b'shem u'malchus. Dalet Tanan. Oh, there's another Bir Halacha. Bir Halacha says he's not sure about Tova Meitiv on account of the wife and children. He says, but interestingly, if there's objects in Yerusha which not just he but all the members of the family will have hana from, then you would make a Tova Meitiv even on account of his own family, not just on account of there being other heirs. Dalit. So now, bought a bayis chadash. A person bought a new house. B'kana came chadash. Bought new vessels. Mevarech. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech olam shechiyonu kimonu b'yonu lazman hazeh. He makes the bracha of shechiyonu. Mishabur says it's specifically when he built or bought for himself. But if he has shutfus, he makes a tova meitiv. Bir Halacha brings down. Lev Chamudas Elio Rabba says if he has a wife and children, it's like he has shutfin also makes hatova meitiv. Okay, back to Arukh HaShulchan. Even though when it says you are the soldiers who are allowed to return back from war, it says the person who built the house of God, it's also somebody who built a storehouse for hay, for cattle, or for other things he's stockpiling. The Elukum B'Chabayis, so these included in a house. But the Bracha Shechenu is only on actual house. The B'Zeh Simcha Arbei, where there's great happiness. Lo Be'Beis HaTevet, not with a storehouse for hay v'chule. Anam Had Tanan Hasam Echad B'Nei Echad Lokeach Echad Yoresh says there somebody who builds, or somebody who buys, and somebody who inherits. Somebody gets a big gift. Become kan kenu. There are two also it's the same thing, but all these cases, the Inyan Simcha Zebzeh Shami, Term Simcha for going back from Orchem for making a Shechianu, they're all the equivalent. Yesh to stop it. It's on, going to raise the question. That's I said Erche, I think it's the Ma'arche Milchama Chashiv Shlosha Dvorim. It says three things there. But a bais, not a kerem, and a isha, building a house, but also planting a vineyard and marrying a woman. Echad name shechianos, there's shechiano by the other things. Name lo chashi barua kerem v'isha, and since the Gemara doesn't mention a vineyard and a woman, shmam and a wife, shmam know the envorim, so you don't make a bracha on these. But kerem, yesh l'may de'esh ain't the simcha g'vayz. Now on a vineyard, you can say it's not a simcha like ours. Avo b'isha is tmiyah. But by marrying, it's astonishing. Lami Baruch Shechianu. Why don't you make a Shechin? Shei Simcha G'dayli. Shevarchin Shasimcha Mono. Where it's a great simcha. We make say Shasimcha Mono. The simcha in the dwelling place of Kodesh Baruch Hu. In the dwelling place of Kodesh Baruch Hu. Yeshloma, we have to say Mishum Mishas Erusin Ein Adayin Simcha Shlema. When they have Erusin and they don't actually live together, it's not a complete simcha. V'yav Shavarchos Shechianu. You can't make a Shechianu at that point. Shas Yisuin Shnimra Simcha ain't Tzarech Levarech. By the time in the Suin, when the Simcha is complete, you don't have to make bracha. I mean, they should etzon dark finding out Erusin, because really it became completed by Erusin, which is not, which wasn't a time to make Shechina either. So therefore, by us, even though we do Erusin and the Suin all under the chuppah at the same time, lo no go baruch us not to make a bracha. Came a shame lo baruchu, since they didn't make a bracha time and Erusin and the Suin were separate. We too don't make a bracha. Lo tiknu shechianu, and by vineyard they didn't institute shechianu. Shebeis on a tiyah, because the time you planted and simcha time there isn't a simcha yet. Shaperes a sim shol shanim. The fruit's still going to be also for 3 years. Mishum orla v'char lo shag baruch, and by then it's too late to make a bracha. Midei she'ina kvar nigmar, because the issue is already completed. Chen lo yiskiu rag bayis. So then, therefore they only mention a house. Shemishtamish techev bagmar they use immediately and fully. Hey. Well, of course, that means if you buy a new house, you don't move in for a while, then there'll be no shechianu, right? The same idea. So right here, where a person moves in immediately after the purchase. Hey, when it's a new house or new vessels, even if you had something like them already, so you have to make a shechianu. Came the zel chadash lo. It's new for him. Now this even if you bought already something like this, now you bought another thing similar to that. So it's now the first time you're purchasing it. You come over Shechianu, nevertheless make a Shechianu. Can't be sugyas halacha v'chein posko tuva shulchan aruch. However, Rama Berkut lo hisker rak lo kayotze b'hem. He didn't say. It only said if you already had. And now you're buying, they make a shechianu. He did not say, he didn't say if it's a repeat purchase, you also make shechianu. Ein Sham, Bisham, that feel Ein Chadashim, Bisham says, even they're not new, Kevin Shetz Lo Chadashim, since by him they're new. Baruch Shechianu, make a shechianu, Kevin Elu Lo Yu Et Slom, they weren't by him ever before. V'lomu Chadashim, Alafukim, Ayu Shelo. Doesn't mean. Only says new to exclude a case where they already belong to him, and he sold them because the then bought them back. They don't make the bracha came when she would, so because he already had them previously, and it's a simcha kokach. This is not such a great simcha. Shura says even if they're new, which we haven't used that, but since in other words. You bought them, sold them, and brought them back in, and the other person hadn't used them yet. Nevertheless, it's not such a sin because they don't make a new bracha. In brackets, it says, some people are not careful of this community. People don't make the bracha in the circumstances where they bought, sold, and bought again. But that's because we require davar chashuv, as shall be explained. In ain't boros or chebetz because they'll chashuv it slow. Therefore, it's not clear if it's chashuv by him. The cheinish knowing by bracha. That's why people refrain from making the bracha. You can make a bracha at the time you purchase it, even though you haven't used it yet. So obviously, what I said before was wrong. I'm not sure why. But I guess what he's saying because of Simchas Halev that you have the Simcha as if you live in the house already at the time you purchase the house. You're happy when you buy them. Oh, but here it gives a caveat. It's only if the thing is completely finished. But the house is not complete yet and it requires more work to be completed. The vessel requires fixing, but beggar serve tikkun, or the garment requires fixing. You don't make the bracha until you finish all the fixing. When you wear a new garment, you work malbish arumim, but first you make the shechianu and then malbish arumim. The Gemara says you don't make the bracha until the time that you use the beged, put it on, or the keli, not at the time you purchase it. And I think that's the minhag today as well. Rabbi Kiva is mistapek, and it was not sure about a house. Perhaps you should make the bracha until you put out the mezuzah, and for kelim until you toivel them, so they're suitable to you. So it's not so pashut to make the shechianu at the time of the purchase. Obviously, the Rabbi Kiva is not sure that perhaps you will try and put out the mezuzah. Mishabur says that Malbi Sharum comes first, not Shechianu. So, David Kamaravi, whichever way you do it. If you put it in the morning, you can be able to Malbi Sharum that you make in the morning. Zayin Kasa Beta says, Steve, hey, Kana Kalim Shim Shtamshim Bamub and they pay so if you bought vessels that you use and members of your household use, Bivarach Hatov HaMeitiv, like we said before, by inheriting something that you would use and members of the household use. And that's what Matana they get as a gift. Bivarach Hatov HaMeitiv, it's also to make a Tov HaMeitiv. Shutova Lo Vilanosei, not Kalashona. It's good for him and for the giver. Evidently, it's about even if he's a single individual. But since it's good for the giver and good for him, so then it's Hatov HaMeitiv. Giving a gift, I guess, considered to be something which people enjoy. If you bought vessels for yourself alone, and for the members of your household alone, separately, you make a bracha on your shechianu. Since you're going to use those of your household, they won't use yours, but you're going to use theirs, so you make hatov hametiv. The Brura says even though you're not going to use them, but it's only if you buy it for your wife and children, because then it's an offer for you as well. But you bought it for your servants, you don't make a bracha unless you actually are using the object as well. Long brackets here. Ayin tasif kotan dalit. Magavram is not so clear cut on this concept of the giver having benefit when he gives a gift. Mevan has a substitute on Chav Zayin. Shamblu di Veroshe Yisamer Tinei Zadin Hu Miyushami Bakavanuk Shekone Bekaspo. That means that when you buy it with your own money, Afshim Bnei Beis Mishtamshim, even though the members of the household use it, when you come Gamkein as well, it's primarily his. Unless Matzah knows that Shekone Bnei Beis Mishtamish Bezeh. But the purpose gives a gift, gives it for all the members of the household. L'chein habracha l'tov ha'meiti v'duk. So he's saying it's not so much the tov of the no-saint, but since it's a gift, it's meant for all the members of the household. The Mishnah Bura says it's best to buy a gift to make a shionu and not a tov ha'meiti in order to not get involved in these questions. Ches, b'zel l'shon atur, this language of atur, kosar tesis she'en l'barach el dvarim chashuvim. You only make a bracha on significant things. Do me the bana bayis chadash, like somebody builds a new house. Avadar she'en chashuv kol kach, something which is not so significant, chon choluk, like a robe or minolim, or shoes, van polos, or socks, ein l'barach alav. V'adoni avi arosh kosav yirlisha kol of him ashu adam. Everything is relative to what makes you happy. Yeshon isha samech b'chalukol, there are poor people who are happy to get a new shirt. More than a rich person with new kelim, not kalashon. Pasuk Rabbeinu Beis Yosef Sivok Das Arosh. It's all relative. Yeshishon Gam Taisus Sovereign came. Being low Myri Boni. Some say the place also that way, and they're not talking about a poor person when they say not to make a shirt. Av Rabbeinu Ramakos Abiyashmin that feel ein ani ein barach al choluk uminolin kadoyme v'chein nagim. He says no, it's not relative, and ani doesn't make the bracha on a new shirt or shoes. Bear dvarav the das tesis kenu the tesis the bade afdorim chashuvi kibgorim ken mikorim tali bashus v'niyuso. Since also by dvarim chashuvim like begadim and kelim mikorim, it has to do with his riches or poverty. Though ani gam bega pasha yesh lo chashivas for a poor person also simple garment has chashivas and barach love shechianu. Make a shechianu. Mashenken ashir as opposed to a rich person and barach lo bega yoker only makes a bracha on a precious, expensive garment, kimeshi, like silk, but semer, tov, and good wool, v'chadoyme. And everybody agrees about this. The bezeh must be my taisus, but this taisus said that choluk minol man pelos on a shirt, on shoes, and on socks. Kama ani loivrech avgad shulchashu mitzvah. Also, a poor person should make a bracha on them, even though they're chashuv by him. So mitam acher. That's for another reason. Shel bircha shechianu bein davar abal itim rechokos. It's interesting. That's because shechianu has to be on something which comes at distant intervals. Zel came as mizman lizman. That's what makes it lazman hazeh. It's like for a new time. The b'zeh shach shechianu. That comes alive to this new time. V'ayim begonim shlo tadil of shem goyim chadashim. So it has to be close. You don't get frequently new ones. Avacholok, but the shirt, I mean only men's shoes, van pelos and socks. Gadoyme. Titir mainly chadish. You get it frequently. V'lo shay barach alem shechianu. Therefore, it's not appropriate to make a shechianu on this. But the Magen Avraham and the Gra say that the Rabbah says that Ani should make a bracha on these things. But going to Varachayim, Paskin Lamaisa, that an Ani should not break a bracha on things which are definitely not chashuv, so like the psak of the Arukh HaShulchan. So not like the Gra and Magen Avraham. We can't make us say this is our minhag, says Arukh HaShulchan, not to make the bracha. Sfarim yesh mishomer she'ein levarech. People say should make the bracha on Sfarim. The mitzvah slav and hanas nidu because mitzvah is not given for pleasure. Yesh cholkim zeh. Others argue. The Shmuel says when you buy Sfarim, it's machlekes and nachronim. Chayim says that if you're really pursuing this sefer and you're really happy you got it, you can make the bracha. So therefore, should make a protest and one makes the bracha on getting a sefer which he was literally seeking with great desire. Back to our shulchan. Misha Gomer Eza Chibur Yesh Mishon Levarech Shechianu. When you complete a sefer, and some say to make a shechianu, but Lona Akina Ken. I've completed several svarim, then make a shechianu. Because it's not a minhag. If being buying its nest in the varach, and shul you don't make the bracha. Game just right because it belongs to the masses. Lok Sheyesh Mishahora Shashliach Tzibur Barach Hatov Meitim. Not like evidently Magen Avraham says that the Shliach Tzibur should make on behalf of the Tzibur. But the Mishnah does pass in that way. The Shmuel says that a kol who built and bought a shul, the shliach tzibur, should stand and make b'kol ram hatova make them motzi everybody. Very basic machlekes here. Not sure how we pass it. Umisha zikaj, the best of course is to have it's new fruits not gonna help you because it's not made you have to have change of wine. I don't think it's gonna work out. Umisha zikaj, Hashem is b'ach lichtov sefer Torah says Arukh HaShulchan yesh b'gamram b'arach shechenu kiyom mitzvah nachanu. Is appropriate if you're Messiah Sefer Torah to make a bracha. Shechianu, let that you come no again came, but I guess it's rare enough Arukh HaShulchan did not know how common that minhag is. We only have one short seat left in the Simmons, so let's finish it even though it's tomorrow's. Kasser Rabbeinu Ramah, Haminag Lomar Misha Lovesh Beg Chadash Tebalev Techadesh. Somebody who's wearing a new garment, you say wear it out and renew it. Basically, because of those say She'enu Marken Amiyalim, you shouldn't say on shoes or Begadim Hanasim Yeroshim or any other garment made out of leather. You can't say kill another animal tchila first. She chadesh me a beggar acher to get a new garment. See brachamov kol ma'asav, and it says Hashem has mercy on all His creatures. Tam chalushmo. That's really a shmad tam. Very near. It doesn't seem doesn't seem correct. Nevertheless, many people are makpid on this, and therefore don't say it. Don't say chadesh when it's shoes and other leather goods. Now I recall that shechianu you also don't say on leather goods, but that doesn't seem the case here because before taught them in olim and didn't distinguish between leather or non-leather shoes. So evidently on leather shoes you do say shechianu, you just don't say tit chadesh, that they should kill another animal for you.